All right, so car problems. I have so many car problems right now that I can't even, I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's not bad. They're all surmountable. They're all things that I can take care of. Just not really thrilled that I have to take care of them, but that's pretty much everything, right? Still, I want to give myself that chance to just be pissed about it because I'm not thrilled that I have to spend all my money on cars. I'm a little cozy right now, you guys, because I just woke up. So anyway, all right. So I drive. Tell me really quickly, what was your first car? Your first car is probably better than my current car. It's probably newer than my current car, which is really kind of sad. Tell me in the comments, you guys, what was the name of, or what was the model, brand, whatever, of your first car? And did you name it? Some people I know named their cars in high school. I did not name my car in high school. My car in high school was a Toyota Tercel. It was a little rust bucket. It wasn't rusting. It was just the color rust. And that's not a very cute color. But it was back like after the oil crisis in the 70s. Yes. So my car was in the 80s. So it was one of those little tiny cars, and everything was just like nothing. You just put wheels on a tin can and call it a car. So now I still drive a Toyota. I drive a Toyota 4Runner. It's a 1999 Toyota 4Runner. I took a picture of it. I was going to, walk us over to the garage, but that just seemed like too much effort. So instead, I'll show you my broken screen and my car. So this is my broken screen and my 4Runner. See, it's such a cute car. It really is. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun little beast. Take it down to the beach. I open up the sunroof and go sit up on top, watch the waves, do a little meditation. It's a cool little car. And my daughter's been driving it. And she got in her first wrecker the other day. It wasn't her fault. That's one thing I feel like I need to make clear. It wasn't her fault. It was a mechanical issue that I have to work on today. But she banged into somebody. So now the bumper that was already kind of janky looking is really janky looking now. And it's kind of embarrassing. But it's a car, right? You're like, it's a car, it gets you around, and these are the things I'm always thinking. But when I saw the bumper the other day, after all the trips to the mechanic, because I had to go to a bunch of different mechanics, I had to, I walked up to the car and I was like, I can't believe this is my car. Like, why? I'm 48 years old. Don't I deserve a better car? So let me back up and tell you the story of this car because, well, first let me tell you all my car issues. Okay, you guys, seriously though, if you have an older car, tell me in the comments how old your car is. What was your first car, actually? That was the original question. What was the name or what was the kind of car that you first drove? And mine was an 83 Toyota Tercel. What was yours? Also, how long did you have to drive that car before you finally got like your first great car, right? It took a while for me. So anyway, the car has there's something wrong with the brakes. There's like this motor, it's a boost or something like that needs to be replaced, that it's not, the brakes aren't working all the time. They work most of the time, but they get hard. Like when you press down the pedal, it gets hard. And also, when going at a low speed, the ABS will, the anti-lock system will just happen. It'll just happen. So it's like we're speeding and we pressed our brakes really hard and the anti-lock, does the that it does. But we're going like 3, 4, 5 miles an hour. Well, that's what happened with my daughter. She was driving behind a car. It was stopping no traffic. She went to hit her car, or went to hit the brakes that pretty much went all the way down to the floor. She crashed into the woman in front of her. There was like no injuries, no real damage done, but the front bumper is pretty crunched. And so anyway, so now I have to, we can live with a bumper the way it is. It's kind of ugly, but for sure the brakes need to be fixed. And then while I was, my mechanic's like, you really got to change the ball joints on your axles for the front axles. Okay, so that's not cheap. And then pretty sure like my oil is leaking. The pan is it's just leaking oil. Like we put in oil, it just comes right back out. So now we have to change that. The car has 340,000 miles on it. I mean, it's on its last, 60,000 miles probably. It'll probably, and everybody I talk to, they're like, Toyota 4Runner, oh yeah, it'll hit 60,000 miles, or it'll hit 400,000 miles, no problem. My mechanic is, yes, thank you, Allie. I have visited my friendly mechanic. He is a great guy. He's actually mobile, so he'll come to me a lot of the times, but for these bigger things, I have to go to his shop, which his shop is like a friend's garage. He drives around in this little van. It's pretty great. But anyway, so I'm at this point right now. The truck is probably it's gonna be my daughter's car, and now I have to figure out a car for me. But I've got to go. Like, as much as I want to complain about the car issues, like, I'm so grateful that I have this car, and let me explain why. Let me get cozy before I tell you a story. All right, so the story of my car is a little long, so I'm going to try and do the brief synopsis of the story. 3 years ago, when Larry and I first split up, we had to go to court a lot. And on one of the times, he was told not to come near the house and not to come near me and all kinds of fun stuff. It was pretty contentious back at the time. So, just ignoring all that, he still came by the house and with somebody, and some people were home because they couldn't get to school because my car, somebody had unplugged a fuse, somebody on my truck, and so I couldn't drive it. So he came back with a person, and they were checking out the car. And what I didn't know at the time was he was using the car as collateral for loan. You know where this is going. The loan was never paid off. I was never aware of the loan. And so one day we went outside to go to school and go to work, and there was no car. And when I called the police to report it stolen, they were like, oh, it wasn't stolen. It was repossessed. Here's the name and information of the company. And a lot of my stuff, just like you guys, I had so much stuff in my car, stuff that we, haul around for the kids. And we had come home late the night before from work and this and that. And my wallet, everything was still in my car. I know that's not safe. Shut up. That's how I live my life. So everything was gone, everything. And I finally got a hold of people that had the truck, and I got a hold of, like some friends that could help me go get my stuff. Wheezy. Oh, Wheezy's finally back. I missed you, Wheezy. She's been busy doing all kinds of women-run business stuff. So anyway, I'm telling the story about my car. I'm checking for lipstick. Nope, no lipstick. Okay, so then I get outside. I was like, go get in the car, you guys, get in the car. And because we were late, because we're always late, because we're just a hot mess family. And so I'm looking at the kids. We had a garage, we had a house, and there was a breezeway. And they're at the end of the breezeway, and I'm like, what the hell? Why aren't you getting in the car? And they're just standing there with this dumb look on their face. And I was like, I was getting a little frustrated. And then I came out to where they were standing and turned to look and go get in my car, and there was nothing there. That was awful. I still get, sometimes when I can't find my car in a parking lot, you guys, I still get that feeling like somebody came and took my car. It's an awful feeling. So anyway, I called to report it stolen. Police told me it had been repossessed. The repossession came because my husband had taken a loan out on it without telling me and never paid it. And so we lost the car because at the time I didn't have the wherewithal to get it back. And it sucked because it was like our family car. It was the car that we had taken on all these trips. It had been everywhere with us, you know, and it was part of the family. It was the vehicle that I had driven all 4 of my kids in. That was the whole reason we got that car, was it had the 3rd row and I had all my kids and their friends, and it was that car, you know, and we took it to, and we moved to Mexico in it. We hauled all of our stuff down there and back. It was like part of the family. And then it was gone, and it was devastating. And I'm like, I could almost cry about it now, except that that's just how things happen. Things just happen sometimes, and you just have to deal with it. But at the moment, things were going really, really rough for me. Things were really emotionally just too much. And so that happened, and I was like, you know that feeling you get, you guys, when you're just on the other end? Hey, Laurie, hi, Troy. How are you guys? Thanks for joining me. You know, when you get to that point when everything has just hit the fan and nothing's going right, and you're just like, I'm gonna pull myself up, I'm gonna dig myself out, and you keep using all of your positive vibe reserves, and you're trying so hard to keep your shit together. And then one day you're just like, I can't. That was it. That was the thing that did it to me. That was it for me at that moment. And I remember just sitting on the couch and just tears just coming down my face, because I was like, what am I going to do? I don't know what we're going to do. The kids are going to have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're going to have to walk over to the mall to take the bus to school. And, you know, and that's what we ended up having to do for a little while, which really sucked for them. But I got this message from this person that I knew. I met her when we were living in Mexico. She was actually from Oceanside, which was really funny. Ensenada, you guys, I don't know if you know, Ensenada and Oceanside are sister cities. So it's kind of like we're related. Anyway, we had met her when we were living down there, and she called me, and I was like, she just wants to call and cheer me up, and I get it. I'm just not in the mood to be cheered up right now. I just want to sit here and cry and eat my potato chips and drink wine. And that's kind of what I was doing. And she just kept calling and calling and calling, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'm going to give her, because and this is something that you guys have to think about sometimes when people want to cheer you up and pull you out. If you say no to them, sometimes you can say no, yeah, I just need my time, okay. But sometimes, you know, you give them that time, that opportunity to be kind, because maybe this is, you know, she's always nice, but for other people, you know, like, just let them be nice to you. Give them that, you know. So I was like, all right, maybe this is one of those times I'm just going to let somebody be nice to me and love on me and make me feel a little better for my shitty life. So I picked it, you know, I called, or she called, she'd called a couple times, and I just, you know, texted her, I'm just not up for it. And this time I was like, all right, fine, I'll answer the phone. I answered the phone, and she said, we have a car that we're not driving, and we want to give it to you. I get really emotional about this story. It was the 4Runner that I'm driving right now. It was down in their house that they lived at in Mexico, where in the neighborhood we all lived in. And it was just sitting in the driveway, an enclosed driveway with a covered parking lot, but it was basically just sitting there. Nobody was driving it. She's always said, please don't tell anybody it was me. And but I, you know, every now and then I'll remember her kindness and I'll send her a message. She brought the car up. Within 2 weeks, she had brought the car up. She'd had it. So we went to take it to get smogged. It needed some work to get smogged. Not cheap work, you guys. Pretty expensive work. She paid for that. She paid for the registration, paid for the smog, paid for everything, and then just handed me the keys with the car in my name. I don't know that I'll ever be able to repay anybody or pay forward that, but I hope one day I get to. I hope one day I get to be as kind and generous to somebody as she was to me. So that's the car I'm driving right now. So whenever there's a car problem, whenever there's a car issue, I'm just like, it's just a little thing. It's surmountable. It's not insurmountable. And the fact that I was given this car as a gift at a time when I was at a low point where I didn't know what was going to happen and everything was upside down. And honestly, you guys, a couple days later, because of that and all the situations that were happening that were screwing with my mind, I lost my job too. It was such a great time. They were like, "You've just got too much going on. You're not doing your work." I'm like, "You're right." It was a job could have easily done in my sleep. I couldn't get any work done because of all the stuff going on in your mind. If you've ever been in a situation where, you're going through a divorce or you're going through, some crazy shit, emotional shit with people, you can't think. Your mind is like completely somewhere else. So anyway, yeah, one day I'll be able to hopefully pay it forward to somebody else. But those car problems, they're so minimal compared to the kindness that she showed me. So that's where I always try and go. It's so hard though when you're shelling out 250 and 200 and 700 and all the costs associated with maintaining and keeping a car. But still this gratitude, right? This gratitude that I have a car, that I have the ability to pay for the maintenance, that I have, you know, that it's just something that's available to me that may not have been available to me. So anyway, so now the car, now my daughter, because it's going to be her car, she's actually going to be paying for some of the maintenance. And I've told her she wants to buy a new bumper, she can. She can just drive it around like it is, because who knows? She might bump into somebody else again, so might be a waste of a bumper. She's a new driver. You know what's going to happen. Anyway, so now I have to buy my own car, my own vehicle, my own thing. And I'm kind of struggling with that too. And I'm realizing I think I have some deserve issues I still need to work on. Like, do I really deserve a new car? Should I really get, part of me is like, I don't want to get into a loan situation. I don't want to be dealing with making payments. I haven't made car payments since like 2000 and, how old? Ryan was born 2003. I think that's when we got the Land Cruiser. We paid it off in like 5 years. So since 2008, 10 years, I haven't had a car payment. So now I'm going to have to probably get into a car payment situation. I don't really want to. I enjoy not having that monthly payment. So I might end up getting something tiny, something small. Who knows? Maybe I'll just get a little moped, hop around town until I need a real car. But so I just wanted to tell a story today. Today was mostly just a little story time because that was something that I wanted to do. Kindness can heal. That's true. Thanks, Larry Lowenstein. Kindness really can, you guys. And it's, this is something that happened 3 years ago. And it still like brings a tear to my eye, the kindness that she showed. It's amazing. It really is. And maybe we can't show that much of a kindness, but like I showed last week, somebody sent me a little jar of jam that I couldn't put in my backpack and get through security at the airport, so she sent it to me. It's a total stranger. There are so many, I could point out angels and little kindnesses all day long. The thing is to just look for them, right? Like look for the kindness, look for the angels, be the angel, be kind, all that good stuff. All right, happy Monday, you guys. Go out there, be kind, be angels this week. That's our challenge this week is going to be, it's our directive this week. Let's all go out and be nice and do nice things for other people because you just don't know what they're going through and you just don't know how much you're going to impact that person. So anyway, hope you have a great Monday. Hope you have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.